Hello, welcome everyone. I believe we're still admitting a few folks and letting everyone in. Thank you to those who are joining on a Friday afternoon. We will give folks a few more minutes to join here. We'll get started. If you have access to the chat, you can say maybe where you're joining from. If you're on the East Coast on a Friday afternoon, really big shout out to y'all for joining. Perfect. I think we're slowing participants coming in. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. And Velma and Amber let me know that this will be recorded for you all. So even if folks join a couple minutes late, they'll have access to the information. So welcome again. Thank you for joining on a Friday afternoon in the spring, especially, and wanted to dive right into what we're talking about today. So we are talking about your relationship and your partnership with MemberClicks and your software, and how we can partner together, and tips and ways to really improve your usage and your resources, sharing that with you as well. So my name is Mary Allen, and I'll introduce myself on one of our upcoming slides. Here we go. Okay, so what exactly are we going to talk about today? So we'll talk about the teams behind MemberClicks, how they help you, how to reach out to them when you need them, and where to gain access to their contact information. We will also talk about education and training resources, our support team, and our new services. Also, how to stay connected with us and in the loop. And then lastly, I will talk about the starting 5, our integrated solutions that work with your MemberClicks AMS. Awesome. So who am I and why am I here on a Friday, right? So my name is Mary Allen. I've been in marketing for the past 13 or so years, and I've been with Personify for a little over 2.5. But as I was sharing with Velma earlier, I spent over a decade, as many of the Acro members are, on a college campus. I worked in college athletics for over a decade. So very familiar with what some of your members are going through this time of year with college campuses. Also, I'm a mom to Callaway and Anderson, and I would love to say that I have super awesome hobbies, but I don't. Most of my time I'm being a mom and doing mom things and mom life. So shout out to all the moms that do have really awesome hobbies. I'm not one of them. Well, perfect. So I know we've got a few different folks here. Yes, heart to that. Amen. But if anyone, like, show of hands or wants to throw in the chat, how long have y'all been using MemberClicks? Because I know we've probably got a different variety of folks here. Some maybe haven't used it at all and are curious. So if y'all have access to the chat, that'd be great, and I can kind of speak to everyone. 7 months, 3 months. Oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect for y'all then. Perfect. 4 years. Okay, so we have some pros. Haven't used it yet. Never used it. April 21, 5 months, 12 months. This is awesome. Oh, maybe 4 years. This is really good, especially for the new folks, because you're going to get a lot of info about how to help you kind of dive right in even more. And for some of the folks that have actually been around for a while, these are going to be new resources as well, because a lot has changed over the past couple of years. And so this is going to be super relevant info and the latest info about kind of what we're doing and how we can help. All right. I'm so glad to have y'all here today. Let's see. Let's click on. So first things first, for those of y'all who have been with MemberClicks for a while, what in the world is the relationship between MemberClicks and Personify? You're like, there's this woman here, she has a Personify logo, but we're talking about MemberClicks. Like, what is the relationship, right? So I wanted to show this to you all, because this is the portfolio. So Personify is one company. We've got about almost 300, a little shy of 300 folks. who work with associations, nonprofits, and event professionals. And so most of our ACRO folks are utilizing MC Professional, which you can see I've highlighted here. That's just one of our 4 AMS solutions that serve different sizes of the market. And then I've also highlighted our member engagement in the middle. That is because every single one of those products right there actually works with your MC Professional AMS. So if you ever have interest in them, it's just good to know, right, that they're there. And then obviously you see on the right, we have event management solutions as well. That is for show floor and floor plan management, registration, all of that. We serve associations as well as independent and for-profit show organizers. I know that's a little different than the association space. Awesome. Okay, so who do all these products serve? As I mentioned, associations, nonprofits, we've got colleges and universities, conferences, show organizers, chambers of commerce, association management companies. And really the purpose of Personify is to provide that purpose-driven software. And what that means is we provide software specifically for the purposes of running these organizations. We've not taken our code base and adjusted it from any other software systems. We are built from the ground up to serve these folks. And then how do we talk about this full portfolio? Because you mentioned show organizers and event planners. We like to say, hey, we're going to help you bring people together, whether you're an event planner, an association, which you all are, a nonprofit, a chamber of commerce. We're going to help you build reliable revenue streams through your dues revenue, your non-dues revenue, and even revenue through your events and your sponsorships, learning management, and more. All right, so enough of that, right? I just wanted to talk about the connection between MemberClicks and Personify. Personify being the company, MemberClicks being a brand, and MC Professional being one of our products. Okay, so what are these top 5 tips for utilizing MemberClicks more effectively, right? I'm really hopeful that this information will help even folks on this call who have been with us for 5 years. I know there have been changes, and so I'm hoping this will help. And then for those of you who are just a few months in or haven't used it at all, again, great resources for you all to learn more and ways that you can reach us. Awesome. So we'll talk about the team behind MemberClicks, education, training, support and services, how to stay connected with us. And again, we'll touch on those integrated solutions. So first, the team behind MemberClicks. So as you can see here, this is actually a group of us in January at our office in Atlanta. This was the MemberClicks office. And no, we don't ride bikes around the office normally. This was actually a awesome team building activity where we got to build bikes for a charity in Atlanta. It was super fun. But that's a lot of the team, but that's obviously not almost 300 of us. And so here are some folks who are specifically dedicated to MemberClicks and helping you all. So obviously we've got Cindy and Haley. Those are actually their headshots. They are our account executives for any MemberClicks clients. And what they do is they'll help you look at your technology, right? Is MemberClicks Professional working for you? Do you need to look at an add-on solution or a services package to help you optimize your tech stack and then optimize any services that you need along the way, whether it be a more premium website, all of that. They're there to help kind of guide you with your needs and fill any gaps that you may have with your technology or your services. The implementation team. So some folks on this call would have obviously interacted with the implementation team. They are the folks that help you hit the ground running and get you started for success. So they are with you throughout the entire setup of your system, working with you on your data, helping get you and your staff trained, and helping you launch your new MemberClicks AMS. And they're amazing. Also, most of that team has been around for quite a while, and they are fantastic to work with. Also, so on the other side of the house, once you are live and utilizing MemberClicks, after your implementation, we have our product experts. So They're on the phone or answering your questions via live chat or your tickets via email. So those are our product experts, and that team is led by Shaquille, and he is amazing. He's actually one of the most dedicated support people I've ever met. I know that not everyone gets to interact with him, and that's a good thing because that means you're not happy. Hopefully our other agents are helping you out. We've got some great folks who have been around for a while. And then that's almost a team of 10 folks. So there's a chance that you've interacted with multiple of them. And then we have professional services now, and I'm excited to show some of y'all that have been around for a while what that is a little bit later in the presentation, specifically what it is. But we've got a team, and these are experts within the product, and they are available if your association needs project work, right? You don't have the staff or the time to do it. They are there if you have staff turnover and need support and training, or if you need help with a configuration or ongoing consultation, they are there, and I'll dive into that a little bit more. So those are all the different teams that support you. That doesn't include all of the teams that work on MemberClicks, but those are the ones that you would interact with most. Okay, so education and training. So what are those resources out there for you all that are new, need a refresher, have never used the system anymore, but want to see a couple of screenshots to understand it? First, we've got MemberClicks University. And for those of y'all who have been with us for a while, you've likely interacted in here, but these are self-guided videos and training resources for you. And it's set up on our learning management system. And so how do you gain access? This is actually pretty important. If you don't have access and you would like access, you can either email our help email, which is right there, or you can submit a ticket to support and request a login. That's the best way to go about getting access into MemberClicks University, so you can open up a ton of training videos and resources to help you understand the product and the setup a little bit more. And it's free to use. So MemberClicks University is great for training videos and resources. If you don't want to read a full help article, that's the place to go. You can watch a few videos to learn more about the product and setup. Also, we've got our help center and our knowledge base. That is the URL right there, help.memberclicks.com. But we've got searchable articles. This is our most complete documentation about the product, how-to articles, all of that. This is accessible within your product, and then also linked out on our website and in the loop, which I'll talk about in just a minute. Also, you will be excited to know, or those of you who have been with us in a while, or for a while, that we will be launching Lunch and Learn soon. We know there have been some training gaps, so we're hoping to fill that, and our professional services team will be hosting these starting this summer. And Lunch and Learns are going to be deep dives into product functionality, workflows, really helping with helping you all maximize your use of the software. And these are going to be led again by our professional services teams. So really those folks that are day in and day out in the system, setting it up and building a lot of the configurations and setups for our clients. And so these are coming this summer. We're super excited to launch these back again, and registration info for them will be shared via email and in the loop. And I keep talking about the loop, and for those of you who don't know what it is, I'll show you in just a minute. Awesome. So how to stay connected with us, how to reach folks when you need them. This is a super important slide. So if you need to screenshot it. I know they're sharing the slides later, but this is how to reach us and our support team. So live chat, you've got that accessible in your product, and that is typically the fastest way to get a support question answered. If the question is not super time sensitive, obviously email and submitting a ticket. That way you can check up on the status of it. The email is right there, help@memberclicks.com. And then we've also got billing@memberclicks.com. Billing is obviously invoicing, questions about your payments, all of that can be solved by reaching out to the billing address you see right here. And then we've got phone support. Obviously, there's the number and the hours that it operates. So these are all the ways to reach our product experts: email, chat, phone, support a ticket, or submit a ticket, not support a ticket. And then obviously our help center on the website. And so for those of you who've not been in the product before, we have a pretty robust resource center. When you look at that icon in the bottom right, here's where you're going to be able to access MemberClicks University, product updates, release notes, product feedback, the product roadmap, what are we working on, and more. So this is the resource center that is within your product. And for those of y'all who've been using it for quite a while, we updated the name from Success Shack. Maybe because it was hard to say, but we updated the name recently, and we added a chat button within the product so that you could find it a lot easier. So it's a little bit easier to get to chat now than it was. Okay, so what are professional services that I keep talking about? And how do they even relate to support, or do they? And they don't really. So professional services, we launched these late last year, so around November. So for those of y'all who have been around a while, you might have even missed this announcement, right? So these are an opportunity for you to go beyond support, right? You need one-on-one consulting, or say the person on your staff that managed MemberClicks most closely just left. Great, now what? I don't know how this system is built. It doesn't make sense for me to implement again. Like, that's not what I need. I need training, but there's not enough training in MemberClicks University, or I have a specific question about how our system was built. This is exactly the purpose of our professional services. So we realized there was definitely a gap there. There were clients of ours who needed deeper support and one-on-one time with our team outside of what a typical support agent would do, which is solve your tickets and your problems and try to get you answers fast. This is spending time with you to maximize your setup or your team's use of the product. And so these are paid services. It's hourly paid, and all of the packages are obviously customized to your needs. So we've got best practice discussions. If you have an LMS or classroom with us, we have practice discussions around just the LMS. We have configuration reviews, a new entity setup. So say you've had your system set up a certain way for so many years, but you've had a major shift in your associate or your membership structure or something. These are all things that this group can help out with. Also, project scoping. So they can scope a project for you, give you a price, let you know how much it'll cost. We helped a client do this just a couple weeks ago, and literally the project was she just didn't have enough time physically to do the actual work. And so she reached out in the loop and was looking for a freelancer or a consultant. And we now have services, and you know that that person knows your setup and your system and can actually get into your back end. So again, this is when you're short on time, short on staff, you need an extra hand. And then also at the bottom, you'll see in continuing engagement training. That is consulting. That is, you can set up a once a month check-in or whatever works for your staff and your team to make sure that you're optimizing the tools with MC Professional to help you reach your strategic goals and to grow your membership, obviously. And then training, obviously, if you're new. Some of y'all have only been utilizing the system for 3 months. And so continuing engagement and training would be great if you are still finding that you need help learning the system a little bit more and one-on-one time. Okay, so how to stay connected and in the loop. I know that some of you all are like, why does she keep saying in the loop? And we'll get there in a second, but first we have to talk about the Click. So the Click is our monthly client newsletter, and if you don't read any email from us, this is the one I recommend opening. So it's basically a monthly digest of everything that's going on with MemberClicks, right? Upcoming events. Also, it has once a month, it has a product feature focus highlight, which is showing you a functionality within the product you maybe didn't know existed. Or it has a new product announcement in it, right? Like, hey, this was an update made within your product. It's a lot less dense than full product release notes. This is much more consumable information for you all. But again, if you do not open any email from us, I definitely recommend making sure that you're opted in to receive our communications so that you are getting the client click, which has super specific product info for you all. And it's only sent once a month. So I think that's pretty good for an email. And I will leave it on this slide for a second if anyone needs that opt-in link or wants to scan that QR code. That will take you to our Personify site and opt you in to receive email communications, and you can adjust any of the preferences that you see there. But that makes sure that you hear from us, because if you are not opted into our communications, then you might not hear from us very often, right? And we want to make sure that you do. So I will leave that up for just a second. And I see, can the price schedule for professional services be shared? Absolutely. I'll answer these questions at the end while y'all are scanning here, but that's a great question, and our prices are definitely available for you to check in. And how do you get opted into communications? Right there, this slide. And I think everybody should have had some time to do that. All right, next, the loop. Finally, she made it. For those of y'all that aren't in the loop, what is it, right? So we launched this to MemberClicks clients last year. This is a client community. Just what you're seeing is just for MC professional users, right? So we have discussion forums, best practices, peer-to-peer collaboration. This is where we post our events calendar, like Lunch and Learns. They're going straight in the loop so that you guys can mark your calendars. Also, we link out to everything that you would need in this space. It's like a client hub. So we link out to our product roadmap, product feedback. It gives you access to MemberClicks University, our services, and more. So the loop is actually a community built on the community product, but it's meant to serve you all, right? So we have staff in there interacting and engaging, but it's also great for peer-to-peer discussion. Have you all, I'm searching for a new integration for this, or has anyone integrated QuickBooks into their system? And it's great to get some feedback from others. Or like I said, hey, I'm looking for a consultant or a freelancer to help me with X, Y, and Z. And this community is great and becoming very robust. So I hope that you, if you are a client, will join us. It is a client-only community right now, but you can scan this QR code or visit theloop.personifycorp.com/join. And you can get access to everything that's going on with MC Pro right now. So announcements, if you don't sign up for our emails, definitely join the loop because we're posting content and discussions in there often. Awesome. Okay. And then obviously it's almost show season. I know that you all just wrapped up your annual event, and I hope that it was a success. But here is where we will have our staff coming up this summer. Will be in person. So if any of you fall within any of these categories or will be attending any of these events, we would love to meet you all and see you. Yeah, and connect in person, not just virtually via email in a community. Awesome. So lastly, I want to talk about the starting five, right? So my background is in sports, so I'm the only one in the company probably that calls them the starting five. But I think it's a good way to remember all of our integrated solutions, knowing that we have 5 for MemberClicks products. And I wanted to, some of these, many of y'all are probably familiar with, but we actually have a couple new ones that we launched late last year. Again, that if you weren't opted into our communications, you may not know about them. And we have clients that have been around for a while that still don't know all the solutions that integrate with their systems. So this is everything that works with MemberClicks. We've got Job Board, Member App, Registration Tech, Classroom, and Community. So first we'll start with Community, and that's exactly what the loop is built on. So if you're ever in the loop and you want to know what product that is, that's Community. It's a collaboration space for your association or for however you want to build that, right? You can invite supporters in and your members to discuss and share resources. And there is integration, obviously, for single sign-on within your AMS. I'm sure many of y'all are familiar with Community, and that is what the Loop is built on. It's a good online collaboration space. Then we've got Classroom, what I've mentioned earlier. It's our LMS tool. It's what MemberClicks University is built on, but this will help with trainings and certifications, certificates, credentials, anything that associations or nonprofits like you all would potentially need for your members. Then we've got Job Board, obviously connecting employers who are looking for staff, and I know workforce development is huge among the association space right now. So a way to generate non-dues revenue, a way to connect your industry with your industry employers with qualified candidates through a job board. The nice thing about Job Board, by the way, is it's no cost to turn it on. It's a rev share. So that's what's great about that is there's not like an initial investment for that product if that's something that you're interested in. Okay, Member App is relatively new. So for those of y'all that have been around, you may have familiarity with Conference App, which is our event app. Member App is actually that conference app plus more communication tools. So the purpose of Member App is, hey, our members want a space where they can connect in an app. They don't necessarily want a community. We want it to tie into our events. We want to be able to send notifications. We want to have directories and groups and surveys, and we want it more in an app format than in a true community. So Member App was launched late last year. And again, for those of you who are familiar with with Conference App, which is our event app, everything within Conference App is included with Member App. It's just kind of a step up, gives you more functionality to communicate more regularly with your members through an app. And then lastly, registration tech through A to Z events. So this is anything that an event organizer would need, from huge events. Obviously, I'm sure many of y'all aren't doing floor plans, to small events, conferences. So we're talking badge printing and check-in, right? You want to have badges, you want to get your registration data in there, you want to clean up all of that data share, all of that information. So attendance tracking, lead retrieval, it's all a la carte based on your event needs. And so most of this suite most of it is new to the MemberClicks audience, but just letting you all know that it is available. It's out there. We have lower cost options like badge printing with Avery. So you don't have to have an actual badge printer on site. We've got great opportunities there and options for your next event if you host any. And then lastly, I just wanted to wrap up and definitely be here to answer any questions. And so Dominic said, can you share the price schedule for professional services? That is going to be available on our website on memberclicks.com. And you can also navigate to it in the Loop. There's a drop down and you can see professional services there. I don't, Dominic, have the exact URL for you right now, but it's available on the MemberClicks website on the top heading. And then you'll see support and services, and you'll drop down and it'll say MC Professional Services. And it ranges in price, but we've got packages starting at like $250. $250. And then, like I mentioned, we'll scope out projects as well if they're larger projects, smaller projects, and it's typically done on an hour basis. So that price schedule is available on the website, but also once you speak to our team to really talk about your needs, they can adjust that pricing based on, again, what they learn from talking with you. But some of those initial prices are public on the website right now. Awesome. Opted into communications. So Michelle, I put that QR code up there. That's definitely huge for making sure that you're getting emails or announcements and things like that, because if you're not opted into our email communications and you're not in the loop, it's the only way to communicate is through the product. And that's you're always doing something else when you're in the product, not looking for announcements necessarily. Great. Does anyone else have any questions while we're here?
Mary, there is another question a little bit further up in the chat that I'm not sure was answered from Jamie. Does a specific person, admin, ASA, in our organization have to submit the request for MemberClicks University, or can anyone in our organization send that email to get access?
Jamie, that's a really great question. Anyone can get access to MemberClicks University. So you'll just send that over to support. Yes, absolutely. Anyone can get access to MemberClicks University. So either submit the ticket or shoot over an email and give them the information of who needs access, and you can get a login made for them. They do not have to be an ASA. Great question. Yeah, sure thing. And if you have any problems with that, Jamie, I'm showing my email on the next slide. And if we don't have any other questions, I will show my email, and that way everyone here knows where they can reach me. This is my personal email. This isn't, a queue or whatever. I wanted, to thank you all for being here, just to learn about how to utilize your software and build a better partnership with us, because again, I know that there have been a good bit of changes over the years, and so I thank you all for joining on a Friday afternoon in the spring. And I've got my email address here, so I would be happy to share this deck with you. Or as I mentioned, if you have any issues reaching out to folks or anything, that is my email there. And I hope that you found this information super helpful as you're utilizing your product. And for those of y'all who are just diving into your MemberClicks time, yes, you can email me. I'm not sure, Amber or Belma, if you all have the ability to attach it to like a post event, but I'm happy to just email it to you directly. Michelle?
Mary, I can, if you want to send it to me via email, I'd be more than happy to attach it to the registration page so people can have the recording and the slide deck.
Awesome. I'll do that, Michelle. And then there's another document in there that's a client resource document. It's very similar to this presentation. I'll attach that as well. Great. Well, if no one else has any more questions, we'll wrap up a few minutes early on a Friday afternoon. And I super hope that I see some of your names requesting access to the loop and finding more ways to engage with us. So as I mentioned, definitely reach out via email if you need anything, and we will share the deck and some resources after the recording's ready. Great. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Y'all too.
Bye.